Today on JawaTalks, I am joined by my good friend, Matt Beutner from the Force of Others podcast to give a very warm welcome to the great Jonny Coyne, a.k.a. Lord Janu from the new Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Johnny, I think I can speak for both Matt and I that we are stoked to have you on. The movie was fantastic. We love your character and are super happy to have you in the Star Wars universe.
Thank you.
How have the last couple of weeks been, man? I'm sure it's been a little crazy since the movie came out.
It's been a ride, it's been there've been lots of interviews like this, and I'm trying to sort of get around to speak as many people as possible. It's a joy to sort of meet the fans and those who run podcasts and interviews and things like that. So it's really, really good. I'm just going to turn the camera upside down because I think it's making me. It's there you go. That's
there you go.
Yeah, that would be better because I'll be looking at the wrong place. But it doesn't matter. So it's lovely to be part of it all and have so much attention because actors, we're stars.
Yes, of course. And yeah, I guess going into that, now that you've been billed as a major role in a Star Wars movie, attended conventions, and really started to engage with fans, we're a very passionate fandom, to say the least, as you've probably experienced. Do you have a favorite experience so far, or what has been your favorite part in engaging with the fans?
Oh, I mean, I've just come from a convention, and it's my first convention ever in my entire life, and the fandom is amazing. The sheer joy they bring to the table, and so much positivity, and the thrill they have just to meet a sort of lowly actor like this. I think it's just amazing, really, that they give you so much attention. And we're pathetic, we're whores, we take we're just sad fucking characters. We just give us love, please. All we want is a bit of love, and we'll take it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hi, Johnny. I'm Matt, Force of Others podcast. Nice to meet you. And just to echo what Sam said earlier, Star Wars is one of my favorite things, and just any opportunity that I have to thank somebody for their work, to contributing to one of my favorite things, I'm going to take it. So thank you. I really loved the movie. I had a great time.
Thank you.
Something I always ask on my show, when did you first see Star Wars, or what's the first Star Wars memory that you have?
Well, I was at the very first one. I was in one of those long lines that went around the block. And I went to see it. Yeah, I'm in the very, very first one. I'm old enough I was 18 years old. You guys weren't even in twinkles in anybody's eyes at that time. So there we were, watching something that was quite extraordinary, in as much as there'd been nothing like it at all. They'd been space movies, they'd been science fiction movies. They're all a bit po-faced, a little bit sort of serious. But to have a thrilling ride of a space movie of cowboys and Indians, if you like, in space, it'd never been done. So it was a joy to watch.
Yeah, I imagine that's an incredible experience. I've told Matt before, I'm on the younger side, clearly. So my first real experience in theaters was in 2015 when The Force Awakens came out. I was 12. I went to watch with my dad. Great memory. But now that it's been a while, it's been 7 years since The Rise of Skywalker came out. Mandalorian and Grogu is the first movie, as I'm kind of a true adult now, that I get to go and see, and it's still that same joy as when I first saw it. And I think that's a very special thing, going to see Star Wars in theaters. So
I think that's how I felt. I think it's a great move that they've done this, just to concentrate on the Mandalorian and Grogu, to give them their space in the same universe, but sort of a side of it, and to explore that sort of father-child sort of quality that the film has. I think is a good move. It makes for a really interesting, joyous, and moving watch.
Yes, and I went with a few of my friends. I'm a big Star Wars fan, clearly. Some of my friends I went with never seen it, but they all absolutely loved it. They could sit down and enjoy it, and I think fun is the right word. That's how I have described it to everybody. But I know that there was originally planned, I think, to be somewhat of like a Mandalorian season 4. Do you think that the pivot to making a full-length feature film instead of a season 4 had an impact on your character, Lord Janu's story arc and what we ended up seeing for his story?
I think it had a very positive response to my arc. I don't know what my arc was, to be honest with you. So the fact that I got an arc was great enough for me. But as far as I knew, I didn't know, to be honest. I'm making it up as I go along. I didn't know what the story was. I appeared in that first episode in season 3, second to last episode, and I was, just a hologram. I had 3 lines, and I had no idea what they were going to do to me. I mean, John said to me, we've got a big plan for you for the next season. We've got a big plan, so this is just a little something to get us going, and so I was kind of a bit heartbroken when the whole season went, quite taken aback. But I thought, hey, that's what happens in the acting world. You get a job and you lose it. And then I heard that they were going to make a movie out of it, and then I was told I was going to be in the movie, and then I was told I was going to be seriously in the movie, significantly in the movie. And of course that just makes an actor's heart sort of flutter with excitement. The idea that they want you is just brilliant. So yeah, I thought, as far as knowing an arc is concerned, the only arc I got was when I finally read the script at Manhattan Studios. They wouldn't let me have the whole script to myself to keep. I was given it on an iPad, and I had to sign it in and sign it out, all the secrecy and security that happens with that. And you have to be locked in a room and read it, and then you have to sort of sign it back to them, and then you leave and try and remember as much as you can of the story. And if my character was that in the season, fantastic. That's great, But I got to do it on a big movie on an IMAX thing. So as far as I'm concerned, it had a significant sort of effect on my arc and my life and my sort of career, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm sure. And yeah, as I said before, it seems like you've been doing a lot of, engagement with the fans. You just did your first convention. That's amazing. But when you got that script, I don't know the exact process, but went behind it. But what did you think when you saw that your character was named Janu Coin, which is, of course, very similar to your own name?
Well, I knew by that time that my name was, because I'd read it in the contract. Jonny Coyne to play Janu Coin. So it was in the contract. And I was told by John that they liked my name, and he said we're thinking maybe Commander Coin or something, and I thought, fine, it's okay by me, if you want to do that, you're the boss, and so, but when I saw that they literally were using pretty much all my name, Janu Coin, in the contract, that was, well, let's be honest, it's historical. It's nobody's had their name sort of formed into a Star Wars name.
Yeah.
So that to me that makes my character at least unique in that respect.
That's
Matt,
awesome.
You want to go next?
Yeah. Well, and so tying kind of into season 3 and your kind of whole entrance into the Mandoverse, as they call it, the Mandoverse or whatever. But what was the casting process for that like? Did you audition, or did you just get a call, or how did that go?
I got a call. I mean, once in a while in an actor's life, you get these sweet moments where you'd have to sweat it out, and I got a call that I got an email saying they're interested in you for several episodes of The Mandalorian. I'd been watching it, so it was, I knew the show, and I thought, yeah, okay. Well, when they actually come up with an offer, I'll get excited about that. And I did actually ask, they're not wanting to see me? I said, no, we're not wanting to see you. It's fine. And then next thing I know, I've got the job. And then when it went away, I got offered the film. I mean, it was the easiest job considering it's the biggest, the most significant job in my career in terms of status and in terms of profile, it was the easiest job in the world to get. Yeah. So long may that continue, because I can't sweat it out anymore. I'm getting too old for it.
Well,
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, I mean, Janu's still out there. We didn't see his character end, so hopefully we'll see you come back soon.
Yeah.
Talk about being immortalized, though. Now, have you thought about the reality that probably sometime in the near future you're going to be made into a Star Wars action figure, whether that be a Lego?
I'm counting on it. These are Christmas presents already in my list of things that it's going to be easy for me from now on in. To Christmas presents, everybody gets one. So as far as I'm concerned, that's it's going to make my life a lot easier.
Yeah, I bet. That's amazing. I think that would probably be my biggest honor if I ever was in a Star Wars movie, is getting my own figure. So,
but I mean, I don't have a lightsaber because I'm not a Jedi. Somebody suggested I would have my grey jacket and a salt crystal. How exciting is that for a kid? How exciting is that for a kid to have? He's clearly going to lose, or his little sister's going to swallow, or something.
That's awesome. Talking about like the props, I know a lot of actors, try to keep things from the movie. I know Star Wars is probably a little tight about that, Lucasfilm and all. But did you get to keep any of your props, like your jacket or anything that you wore in the movie?
No, I wouldn't even want it. No, it was it was a very specific kind of jacket. I think it looks great on screen, and there's a really big difference between something that looks magnificent on set and something that you have to wear, because it's two different things. You've just got to get used to the idea that you're never comfortable on set. You're always in the wrong costume. Somehow everybody else's costume seems comfortable and easy, and they're light in it, and you're walking around like a robot. You can't sort of move in it. But everybody's exactly the same. Costumes are costumes. You fight against them sometimes. I didn't get to keep anything, I'm afraid. So, and I'm not sure they'd want me to.
Yeah.
Well, so you talked about how Lord Janu doesn't have a lightsaber, that he's got, I guess, salt crystal, like you talked about.
Okay.
But if you had a lightsaber, if Jonny Coyne had a lightsaber of his own, what color would it be?
Oh, I think there are rules about that, aren't they? There are rules about what color your lightsaber can be, but I don't know. I'm just going to pick some magenta. I don't know. Something sort of bluey, reddy, sort of purpley, something like that. But I think that's Samuel L. Jackson's one, actually. I think you can't have Samuel L. Jackson's lightsaber.
Yeah, he might have a couple things to say, but
that's awesome.
Yeah, Jonny. So I know Matt here is an actor himself. Do you have a couple questions about Jonny's extensive theater background?
Yeah. So this was actually my co-host on my podcast was kind of Googling you a little bit. And we found out that you've played Cheswick in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest at the New Victory Theater.
Yes.
So now that your Star Wars character is presumably in jail, all right, bit of a weird question.
Yeah.
What other Star Wars characters would you want in your Star Wars version of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Actually, who would I have in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? They're all characters. Well, I can't have Alec Guinness, is there? You can't have Alec Guinness. Well, I mean, I suppose Princess Leia would be Nurse Ratched, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. I've done that show twice, by the way. I've done One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest twice. Playing another character, Ruckley, I think, in the first time. No, I don't know. I mean, that's a really tough question. I don't know who I'd throw in there with me, but I don't know. Brendan Wayne can totally be. Who's the name of the character? Who's the lead?
McMurphy.
McMurphy.
Yeah.
definitely
Cool.
he can play McMurphy because he's got that masculine, that sort of strutty sort of thing. So definitely Brendan Wayne can play McMurphy.
Awesome. I love that.
Awesome.
Well, and
Yeah.
just tagging off that real quick. So what's it like working with Brendan and Lateef, I suppose, if you ever acted across from him on set when they're in the suit, literally on set acting? How's that? How does
They're
that
great. I mean, Brendan is doing a proper job. He's not just a guy in a costume just standing there taking up space. He's actually an actor, and he's actually doing some acting, proper acting, with all the nuance that is required of him. That he kind of dictates in many ways for others to play against him, and so it's a proper acting performance. He's unfortunately got a fucking helmet over his head, so you don't get to see the subtlety of what he does. And it is clever because it's there are rules that he's set himself. He's set himself these rules like I never carry anything in my right hand because that's my shooting hand. So they set himself standards and rules to live by, and that's what you do as an actor for a character, so that when you have those limitations that he has with the helmet, then some essence of him comes through, and there's no question about that. It's a proper acting performance.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and I for one was very, very happy to see him and Lateef's names directly under Pedro's in the movie.
Yeah.
The first time in a Star Wars film that credits are at the beginning.
Yeah,
And so whenever I see people refer to Brendan as a stunt double, I'm like, no, he's
a proper
not just
actor.
a double. He's a he did a fantastic job. They both did.
He does all the lines. He says all the lines. He learns the lines, and he's delivering the lines. I mean, he just is. He's doing everything. And he is. You actually do play off him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, going back to the film, do you have a favorite side character or alien? Or I know you acted alongside, and your in-universe answer would be probably Hog's Breath.
Yeah.
your God, what's the species name? I can't. Ictachi friend.
Well, remember Mr. Nerd.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I would never know the names of these things.
Well, that's why. Yep, that's our thing, man. This is what we do. Do you have a favorite alien in the movie? How many times have you seen the movie since it came out?
I've seen it twice, actually.
Yeah.
I saw it at the IMAX, obviously on the premiere, and then I saw it about 2 days later at the El Capitan when they had the whole laser show beforehand. It was great. If you haven't been there, they did this fantastic Star Wars laser show beforehand. Yes, I've seen it twice. It's great. I hope to see it again very, very soon with my grandson. That'll be interesting.
Has he seen a Star Wars film? Would this be his first
He's 4 years old. He doesn't even know what I do for a living, and I'm kind of waiting for that moment that he sees me and say, "What the hell's going up there?" That's like Granddad. What's Granddad doing up there?
Yeah, that's amazing. Do you have any children of your own? Have you?
Yes. Well, I have a son that made the grandson.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, Jack is he's 38 years old. He's my apple. It's the reason I live.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, so I got one other question
Go
here,
on.
Johnny. So you've been in kind of a lot of like fantasy and pop culture stuff. Merlin, Once Upon a Time, Preacher, so on and so forth. So how did kind of the process of making the Mandalorian and Grogu on set compare to those other kind of fantasy projects that you've been in?
I mean, I'm always amazed about the size of these things. I mean, I've done big movies before and smaller movies, but when you've done something like Gangster Squad, which is a big movie, so and by big movie I mean lots of crew and lots of people being employed. And same again with Hangover. Hangover 3, you know, a lot of people are involved in that. So it feels like a big movie. What makes The Mandalorian bigger or seem bigger is that the sets are just more extraordinary. So, but pound for pound, as it were, are there as many people working on that as they are on Hangover? I don't know. I don't know how it works. But you know, it's certainly the size and the scope and the extraordinariness of these sets that makes it look like it's a much bigger job than it actually is. At the end of the day, it's still filmmaking, and there are moments in it where they resort to old school techniques. When I'm in the speeder and I'm going along in the speeder, you know, we're not floating. There's two guys with poles pushing us up and down. And what is amazing to me is like the juxtaposition of having this old school of making movies still being done now, because that's the fun of it, mixed in with the technology of the volume and the green screen and all that stuff. It's just making movies. And you know, there was talk about making. I think there was some people disappointed that Grogu wasn't an animated CGI character, but there's the other people, most of us, who believe that it's great that he's a puppet.
100%.
It must feel like, it must look like a puppet. You must see the joins a little bit. You must see the joins, because otherwise it's too clinical. It's too smooth. It needs to look like the enchanting thing that it is.
Yeah, and that's was one of my favorite things, because Star Wars, you know, and they did it on The Mandalorian a lot. The puppetry's incredible. The Anzellans too, not just Grogu. And that was because growing up, you know, watching Star Wars, you see Yoda as a puppet. You know, you see these other characters that are puppets, and Star Wars is the best when it comes to those kind of practical effects. It's really amazing.
Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah.
So now that you've got this golden ticket of being in a Star Wars film, as far as I'm concerned, Star Wars fans don't forget about any little detail in a Star Wars film. So
keep you on my toes. Keep you on my toes, will they?
You're gonna be on your toes for a while, I think. But I know you're a busy guy. I don't want to take too much of your time, Jonny. But before we go, I would like to know your favorite Star Wars movie and your favorite Star Wars character ever.
Oh, well, you know, I'm going to be rather obvious about this. It is the first one. I've seen them all. But he's the first one. And who doesn't want to be Han Solo? Because he's the coolest. I mean, of course you want to be Han Solo. And you think, I mean, I was 18 at the time. I knew I wasn't growing much taller than I was. But at some point you thought, like, maybe I'll end up looking like Han Solo somehow.
Yeah. I think we've all thought that at one point or another. Well, Jonny, thank you so much. Matt, do you have any more questions for Jonny?
Well, I guess just real quick, not to take up too much of your time, but Sam alluded to it earlier. I am an actor. I'm also a theater teacher. And so I'm going to be shameless here and reach out for some advice for my students, my acting students. Whether you're on stage, whether you're on the big production you were talking about with The Mandalorian and Grogu, kind of what grounds you as an actor is when you're acting?
I think, I listen to everybody. Cool. I will take a note off anybody. If it's going to make me look better, if it's going to make me better, I will take a note. I don't understand actors who get to a point in their careers where they say, just leave me alone, I know what I'm doing. Because we kind of know what we do. We know how to move our mouths, and we know how to move, and we know the essence of it. But take a note, because that's only for you. It's for you. It's it'll make you look better. It'll be better. If it's the wrong note, play it. If it doesn't work, let it go. It's not a problem. But take the note and see what you can do with it. It all helps.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Jonny. Thank you for the time. Thank you for your performance in this movie that was so fun. I hope we get to see you again.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, I hope so too. Thank you, Jonny. I appreciate it. Go watch The Mandalorian and Grogu. If you haven't yet, I don't know what you're doing. See Jonny Coyne as Lord Janu Coin. And yeah, thank you everybody. See you
Thank
next
you
week.
guys. Take care. Bye bye.